Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of All Ears with Channing Apodaca. I had a really good time talking to this week's guest. We sort of just bullshitted for the better part of 40 to 50 minutes before she gets into her actual story. Or stories, I should say. She tells two really good stories. We pick up the episode with her and I talking about a show we were both recently booked on that she was unable to attend because she had a really bad bout of the vid. She got COVID. You can find all her stand-up dates at chaseodonnell.com. She's the host of Inspired and Tired. Find that wherever you get your podcast. But before you listen to that, and you will, sit back, relax, and enjoy my episode with the one, the only Chase O'Donnell.
I'm all ears.
I'm all ears.
I'm all ears.
Lend me your ears.
I'm all ears.
Listen well.
I have a word with I'm all ears.
I'm all ears.
I'm all ears.
I'm all ears.
I have a word with I'm all ears. I'm all ears.
Listen well.
I'm all ears.
I'm all ears.
Lend me your ears.
I'm all ears.
I have a word with
I'm all
I'm
ears.
all ears.
It's funny that you feel like you burned a bridge, though, because so I was booked to do 10 minutes, like the feature spot, right?
Yeah.
Maybe there was a little extra time because you didn't show up. So I missed my first light, basically.
Okay.
I guess that was at like 9 minutes. Missed the first light, and then they lit me again at like 12, but I was doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I felt like I was doing really, really well. And I was in the middle of a new bit, and I've been using it as a closer, and I don't know the timing of it yet.
Yeah.
I thought I could do it in like a minute and a half, so I start like rushing it. I'm like, all right, I'll go over by like 30 seconds. I got off stage, and my phone said I had been up there for 17 minutes.
Oh my God.
So I ran the light by 7 minutes.
I've been there.
Really?
Yeah. I was supposed to do 7 minutes and I got off stage and it was 17.
Holy
And
fuck.
I was like, wait.
So you did 10. All right, I don't feel so
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
Where
yeah.
was that at?
That was a show in New York. And
Ooh.
they were like friends of mine. And I think they were just, I don't think I got a light. I think they were just letting me go on. But I remember being like, wait, I thought I did 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was 17.
It's weird when you're, I don't want to sound narcissistic, but when you're like, you're doing good, time really does fly by.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like engaging with the audience more, so you haven't really gotten into material.
Yeah.
So it almost feels like time kind of stops during that. It's like, well, I'm not doing material, so the clock's not running.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just fucking around because you're timing yourself
yeah,
by
you
where
can't
you
tell.
are in your material. You know, you go, all right, well, I've done this bit and I've done that bit, so I can't be past 4 minutes yet.
Yeah.
But you spent 15 minutes talking to some fucking guy from Wisconsin
Right.
about his shorts or something, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that I felt like such a piece of shit when I got off. Oh, that's cool. I love to see when my shit's falling apart.
There we
Sorry.
go.
There we go. It's gonna go again. There it goes.
Oh, maybe I should go like this.
Who has been fucking
There.
with my shit?
Is that okay?
Yeah, whatever
Okay.
works for you. It's gonna pick it up either way.
Okay, great.
Great.
So
I
you
got-
felt like you burned a bridge?
At first I did, and I was like wandering around. I was being like overly apologetic. You know what I mean? Where you
Yeah,
start like
yeah.
overcompensating. And one of the door guys came up to me as soon as I got off, and he's like, "Well, if it isn't the bad boy, people are talking about you." And I was like, "Fuck." The only person that was really mad at me after it though was the guy who was actually running time.
Oh,
He gave me like a
okay.
very cold shoulder. I was like, "Dude, I'm so sorry. I know I went over time. I didn't mean to go that far
Yeah.
over. I didn't see the first light." And he just goes.
Ugh.
But then the host came up to me and he was like, "Bro, you're good. You were doing so well. The room really needed it."
Oh,
And
see?
that's why I'm like,
Oh, this also, okay, the time in New York where I thought I did 7, but it was 17. I did like a show with Christina P. She was headlining and I was opening. And I'm supposed to do 30 and she does 50 to an hour. I was doing all new stuff, so I didn't know the timing yet. And I did 40. And she did 50. So I was like,
oh shit, that's like a co-headline.
yeah, and
But you guys are cool, right?
yeah, but the agony I had
Yeah.
backstage until she got off stage, I was like, oh my God, she's gonna kill me. Like, this isn't a 2-person show. Who do I think I am?
Yeah.
And I apologized profusely, and she was like, oh, I didn't even know. So that was a great
That's funny.
response as well.
Yeah, it is. It's because like the number one rule in stand-up is don't run the light. Can you think of any other rule that like is as big as that?
No. You don't run the light.
I think it's more okay to like shit on the venue or the wait staff than it is to run the light.
Yeah.
But it's also the most easily forgiven depending on the circumstances. Like you're
Right.
opening for somebody that you're close with. Oh, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You do well in the room. Who gives a shit? We needed it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's something that we're always like, fuck, because you never know.
Is
when
someone going to
somebody's
be
gonna be
really
like,
upset? And
"You're
like,
never
oh,
coming
they're
back
not
here
coming
again."
back. Yeah.
You will never work in San Diego again.
Yeah. I don't think I'm working in San Diego again, regardless.
You know, at least you were getting paid to be on that show. You know what they paid me in?
What?
3 beers. I took
Yeah.
one of them.
This is what I've been. I took one of them. With my like 3-week break from COVID and just like having time to figure out my priorities, hopefully we'll see if I'm able to do it, but I want to be better about getting paid for my time
Yeah,
because I'll say yes to everything.
same.
And it's really exhausting. And I think that's why I get sick so much, because I'm just like driving hours to do a 10-minute set for free.
Mhm.
And it's like, we need to get
It's the stress.
compensated.
It's the stress of it.
It's stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's only like a Southern California scene thing. I can't say much. I've only been out of the state 4 or 5 other times to do stand-up.
Yeah.
But I've gotten paid pretty well every single time I've done that. I mean, at least comparatively. But
Yeah, no, I think it is a California thing because,
you would know a lot better than I would.
well, no, I think that people just think like, oh, you're lucky to be going up
Yeah.
in California.
And we are, because stage, I mean, we're not, but we are. Like,
Yeah.
stage time is scarce out here. And it'd be great to get paid for every show, but at the same time, we'll also just be like, hey, am I being paid? And they're like, no. And you're like, okay, well, I'll see you there.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I'm still going to do it.
I know.
I wish I could say no.
I've never asked, am I getting paid?
Really?
Yeah, I'm so scared to ask that. I've asked it for like, I headlined a college, and I know you get paid
Yeah.
for those. So I asked like, what's the rate? But if it's like a little show that I'm asked to be on, I've never asked, do I get paid?
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
always-
if it's like a bar show or like, you know, they're doing shows in like parking spaces now,
Yeah.
I won't ask that. But if it's like somewhere you know that you should be getting compensated. And also there's a funny way to like, what's the rate is so much better than being like, am I being paid?
Yeah, what's the rate?
Yeah.
You're right. That was good of me.
That was really good
Okay.
because it makes you sound more professional. It sounds like you've asked that question.
Yeah. Okay.
Or been
What's
told.
the rate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it is literally just little words like that. Am I being paid? Like, we do a Venmo at the end, you know? We'll give you whatever that is.
I'm always like, because stand up, so much of it's for free. When I did a show and they gave me $50 afterwards, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And it was like the biggest payday ever because I thought I was doing it for free. So it is always a little pleasant surprise
Yeah.
when they pay you.
Yeah. It's always, and especially 50,
I
whether
know.
it's a check or like you get like a
Usually
clean.
it's like
Ulysses
$12.
Grant, yeah.
If you're going to get
If
paid.
you get like a crisp $50 bill, like you get those in like little envelopes and shit, and you're like, oh my God, should I keep this? I have one from the Well, not a 50, but I think it was the first check I ever got. Most shows where I get paid in cash,
Mhm.
but this was the first time I ever got cut a check, and it was like less than a year ago,
Yeah.
but I still have it.
Yeah. Very
I
exciting.
mobile deposited it, but I
Yeah,
kept
yeah,
the
yeah.
check, and I didn't
Yeah, I'm
write void
glad
on
you
it or
got the
anything.
money.
Yeah, I might it's the first one that I've ever had that is like from the Well. You know,
Yeah.
it says something about a performance, and it's only $50. It probably barely got me dinner and gas because it was all the way out in Bakersfield, but I was still like,
Right,
holy
right.
shit.
Well, that's the thing. You have to go to San Diego, Santa Barbara,
Mhm.
Bakersfield.
You gotta get out of town.
get out of town to
Yeah.
get paid. Yeah.
It's the worst. Did you get any good writing done in 3 weeks that you took off?
No, you know how there's a writer's strike going on right now?
I think I've heard of it.
I decided I'm on writer's strike.
Oh, yeah?
I clearly am not part of the union, and this does not involve me, but I've done no writing.
That's good.
And I truly took the last 3 weeks as a full-on break, and I don't think I've taken a break in 15 years. It felt like I was like, what do I do with my time? And oh my God. And I thought it was really healthy for me not to write or like do anything. I've never taken a break. I don't
That's
know
great.
how to.
That's great.
But I decided this summer I'm on writer's strike. I'm gonna go on the strike with everyone.
What did you spend most of your time doing?
Sleeping.
Really?
Well, I was so sick.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally the past few days I finally have felt better. This was gnarly. Yeah, how sick I was.
Any good like binges or video games?
Oh,
Do you play
I
video
don't
games?
play video games. No.
Sometimes, like, I know it's more of a guy's thing, but sometimes girls will be like, I played Animal Crossing for 18 hours straight, or like Zelda.
I don't even know what that is.
My girlfriend plays it. I got it for her on the Switch, and she played it for, like a week or so, and then she's kind of over it. It's basically my Switch
my sister
now.
and I think it's because we didn't grow up with brothers, so I was
Probably.
never around video. Neither of us were. We don't
Probably.
play.
You seem so put up. We don't play video
We
games.
don't play
Not
video
in this
games.
house.
I did more like meditating and journaling and planning, that type of stuff.
That's great.
Yeah.
I don't know you that well, but I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Did it feel good?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so needed. I know I get sick like every month regardless. My schedule is just like so much travel, go,
Yeah.
yes to everything. And I think I've lost track a lot of like, what are my priorities and what do I need to say yes to? Because I say yes to it all. And this was so needed to just like take a step back and get clear, because otherwise I'm going to get sick all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you figure out anything that might like keep you from that path in the future?
I think a big thing I like have figured out again is that when I started stand up, and I know this is so annoying to say because
I'm already so mad.
I know
I'm kidding.
no one likes actors. I don't like actors.
I know.
But I went to school for theater. I was in musicals in New York. Like, theater is where like my heart is, and stand up was always a way to just get up and perform without auditioning and having someone say yes or no. But that came from a place of wanting to perform and do theater and acting.
Mm-hmm. Are you looking to get more into that?
Not Shakespeare, not Chekhov, not the serious drama, but comedy acting is where like my first love has always been. And I've always just like, I think there's a negative connotation in my head with actors, because I
100%.
I auditioned right out of college and I was doing the whole acting thing, and I didn't like those people. Ugh.
They're the worst.
I didn't like how fake everyone is, and like you go in the audition room and everyone's like judging, and I hated the world, I hated the scene, I didn't like the people, and I just totally like was like, ugh. I was so embarrassed to even say the word actor. And so that's it kind of like pushed me. I went in a different direction, but I think my true love is still comedy acting, like the show Jury Duty.
Amazing.
That would be a dream of mine.
Yeah.
So I want to, with prioritizing like comedy, make sure I'm making choices that would eventually lead me to something like that as an end goal.
That's funny. I watched that show and have been having such a shitty time a little bit in comedy in LA that I was having like the exact same feelings lately. Being like,
Really?
yeah, like I started thinking like I want to start writing more sketches and like doing my own shit. Like I love, like you said, acting and comedy stuff, but I hate trying to care about somebody else's project. I hate going to some bullshit audition for some fucking dumb role and you got to go to Glendale, or
I hate it.
the worst is doing a self-tape and you're sitting there by yourself like a fucking asshole. You got your shirt tucked in.
Just cast me. I don't.
Yeah.
The audition process, I despise. I'm gonna say I don't even hate. I despise it.
It's the fucking word, and I hate the way they will be like, we're looking for real this and that. We're looking for real doctors or someone to play the type. In the audition, you must look and act this, like you must look this way, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you guys are supposed to be creatives. Use your imagination what I look like. You want me to shave my beard or like cut my hair to do an audition that I'm not going to get?
Yeah.
No.
You're creatives. I went on an
Creatives.
audition. Okay, a couple weeks. I guess last month. I get one audition a year, by the way. I don't audition
Same.
very often.
Same.
And guess what it was for? My agent got me in for a game show audition. That's how
Oh my
well I'm
God.
killing it. Okay. Which is like,
I keep getting those and I keep turning them down.
I was like, I could get myself a
Yeah.
game show audition.
Anybody can get, if you're listening to this out there, you can be on a game show.
Anybody can get a game show audition.
They shoot them in Glendale and
They're
Sylmar.
begging for people.
They really are. The last audition that I went on,
Mm-hmm.
not to be competitive about this, but I got you beat.
Okay.
I went.
I think anyone has me beat.
Yeah, I went an audition, and it was for a campaign called the Children's Protection Fund. Role of predator.
Oh, you do have me beat.
I auditioned for a fucking pedophile, and in the thing, and then in the
Did
description,
you self-submit or your
No,
agent got that
no,
for
no,
you?
they got that for me
Okay.
based on resume,
Okay.
real world experience. No, but I walked in the description. They were like, "We're not looking for any specific type of person, so don't feel bad about yourself. We're trying to show that these types of people, these predators, come in all different looks, shapes, and sizes." I walked in. Every single dude was 5'6" brunette with glasses and a flannel on. I was like, I need new motherfucking headshots. I was typecast to play a predator,
You
so
were.
a game show would be nice.
Wow. Well, what I was gonna that is an amazing story, and you didn't get it, unfortunately.
No,
What a bummer.
I
'cause That'd
know.
been a fun story. But the just auditioning for it is amazing. So the game show audition, because I guess they wanted comedian guests in the game show, and what was so interesting, I showed up. They said don't prepare anything, and I showed up, and they had this like whole script, and they were like, okay, this is what's going to happen, and then we're going to say something about Oprah, and you're going to do a one-liner about Oprah, and then we're going to say something about lumberjacks, and you're going to do a one-liner about lumberjacks, and then you're going to do a joke about that. And there were like maybe 10 jokes that I was supposed to just whip out off the top of my head, and I didn't like that because with stand-up, everything is written.
Yeah, it's written
Like,
out.
It is prepared. What they were asking for is like intense improv. That's not like stand-up.
Yeah, like a
That's-
mix of improv and stand up. They're looking for crowd work almost.
Like
Yeah.
sharp. Like
Yeah.
they're looking for writers off the top of their head, which is a very different skill
Mm-hmm.
than like, oh, give me the script a day before and I'll come up with jokes and come in very prepared. At one point I said, insert joke here. Because I couldn't come up with anything that fast.
You said that on camera?
Yes.
That's funny.
I said, insert joke here.
What was the game show? Can you say?
I don't know what it was. I don't know if they told me the name.
But you would have been playing yourself in it? Like you would have been like a comedic guest?
Yeah, I would have been
Like not a contestant
I would
on
have
a game
been a
show.
contestant, but a
Oh, wow.
comedian contestant.
That's weird because they normally want you to not say that you're a comic.
Right. Well, there would be like guests that weren't in the industry, and then or like contestants that were just like, not
Yeah.
in the industry, and then a contestant that was, and then a host.
That is nice though that they are kind of realizing the plight of comics. It's like, yeah, we'll do the show, but we also need to be in the running to win the money.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
how bad we got it.
Yeah.
I did a show not too long ago, like 3 weeks ago, where you remember those shows like I Love the 90s? And
Yeah.
I did one called Discontinued.
Oh.
It was like one of those talking head ones. Same thing where like you show up and they show you something and they think like, oh, this is a comic. They're going to have so much to say about this. They would like show me something. And the sad thing is they gave me a list of things that I can choose from to talk about. And I kind of was like, oh, I could talk about that. I could talk about that. I could talk about that. I didn't prepare anything.
Yeah.
I just expected that I got there and I was going to just riff off the top of my
Yeah.
head. I put on a jacket. I thought like I looked cool. I was like
Yeah.
all ready for it. And they were showing me certain things. And I'd be like, yeah, that's crazy. I remember this. And they'd be like, we'll take it back. And then you leave and you have like 30 different ideas of things that you could have said.
Absolutely.
They asked me this question there at the very end. They were like, what would you discontinue if you could discontinue anything in the world? Any person, any idea, TV show, sport, anything in the world that you can discontinue? What would it be? And I was like, Whereas if you watch me throughout my day, I'm getting pissed off left and right at everything and everyone.
But that's the thing about, like, let us prepare. Just because we're comedians, like, at least for me, I need to, like, think it out. Like, I do need a script. When I do stand-up, it's like as if I wrote a monologue and I've memorized it. And then you have to be, like, loose and the audience doesn't know. But I work much better if I have time to prepare. Improv
100%.
freaks me out. And
You've never done improv?
Oh, I've done it for 10 plus years. I hate it so much.
Where'd you go?
I've done Groundlings, UCB.
Same.
I was on an improv team in college and high school, and in New York, I was in Face Off. So it was called Face Off.
Is it like Comedy Sports?
And Annoyance.
Oh.
I've done so much improv.
You did some Chicago.
Annoyance was in New York, but yeah.
Oh, wow.
Also in Chicago, but
wow. My improv experience was pretty positive, except for when I got kicked out of the Groundlings. Then I was like, what the fuck?
oh my god, my Groundlings experience is the worst. I didn't get kicked out, but I chose to leave after 3 years.
So what did you do? Basic, intermediate, and advanced improv?
Yeah, and but I started at 18.
Oh my god!
Right. I was so young, and everyone in my class, like the youngest was like 25, which I thought was really old, and now 25. Oh my god, they were babies.
They won't even let you pass certain classes if you're too young. I had a buddy who was 22, and he had made it through all the improv courses, and they were like, we're going to fail you because you're too young. And it's like,
yeah.
What is this bullshit?
Well, I don't know if they were doing that when I was there, because this was like 09. But yeah, so I did it at 18, and I was always like freaked out because I was so young, I didn't get so many of the suggestion references. They would like say a reference and I'd be like, oh my god, like I don't know what that is.
All right, your suggestion is Harold and Maude.
Right. And I just like wouldn't know, and so anyways, nightmare. But I was in a scene in Groundlings and the teacher hated me.
Who was it?
I have to look it up. I know exactly what she looks like, but I'm blanking on her name.
What'd she look like?
Blonde hair. She hated me. She was so mean. She was going through a divorce during my class. So everybody had a tough time with her. We all kind of bonded on the fact that she was pretty cruel to us.
Yeah.
But for some reason, she had it out for me. And during the like halfway mark interview, she was like, why are you doing this class? And I was like, oh, because I think it's really important to have like improv skills. It's a really good. And she was like, good, because you would never make it on SNL. Like, good. I'm glad you're not doing this to actually fulfill this as a thing. So maybe this is why I hate improv. So anyways, I'm in class and I'm in a scene and I'm the mom and two kids are in the back. And with Aparna
and Shirley?
Yeah.
She was in your class?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I was in class with a lot of people that are now like really big now because it was so long ago. Anyways, I was like, they were fighting and I was like, I'm stopping the car. Get out of the car. And I kicked the kids out of the car. And goes, is it bad I'm using her name? Should we bleep it?
I'll bleep it.
Okay. She goes, okay, yeah, no. You guys get out of the car. Yeah, get out of the car. Chase wants to be the only one on stage because she just loves being the star. Chase, are you happy now? You're the star. You're the only one on stage. You're happy now, right? That's all you've ever wanted, right? And was so
Are you fucking kidding me? Was this basic?
This was intermediate.
Okay.
And she was just like putting me down as if like, yes, I wanted to be the star, which absolutely not. I didn't mean to. I thought that was a funny choice.
That's not like the craziest thing to do to make yourself the center of attention.
Oh my God. I just was like doing the scene.
Yeah, they also don't have to leave the stage. Just logistically.
That's funny. I kicked kids out of the car.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just would go home crying every single week. It was the most miserable experience.
I can't even imagine what it was like walking into class every week.
Honestly, it was the most hostile environment. It just was. That experience is probably why I hate improv.
Yeah.
But I also know I was probably too young to have gotten into it. Like I needed to be a little more life experienced. But yeah,
But still, like, funny's
really
funny.
tough.
That also, for her to be like, I'm just gonna talk shit right now.
Yeah.
For her to be like, you're never gonna make it on SNL. That person is still at the Groundlings, and I happen to know for a fact. I had a friend who was just he just got, what do you call it, cut from Sunday Company. One of my best friends. He was in the Sunday Company. She had left the Groundlings. She left the main company. You know how they all like eventually, because once you're a Groundling, you're a
You
Groundling.
have to leave in order for someone to actually
Exactly.
get
There can only be X amount of people in their company
Oh man, it's the
at
worst
one time.
environment.
So she left and then goes, well, I got nothing else.
I'm gonna go back.
They did a full going away and retiring. I'll bleep it.
Okay.
Retiring from the Groundlings party.
Yeah.
They sent her off, and then she came back, and they had to put her headshot back on the wall.
Oh my God. Yeah. It really, I had another teacher, if you want to bleep, but I don't know. And she was, I loved her. And
I don't think I know her.
I loved that class, but she was also very bitter. And it was like her and Lisa Kudrow had come up together, Phoebe from Friends.
Mm-hmm.
And every class she would start with like, yeah, well, you know, this business, like I was going to be there right with her and our pilot didn't take off and, you know, that's just how it is. And don't get your hopes up and it would start with this like awful, just like you're never going to make it speech. And that was just the vibe I got when I was there.
Damn.
I don't know. It's probably changed.
You
but when
really
I was
got
there,
put through the ringer.
it was, I hated it.
I had for the most part up until my lab, where it is when I got cut there. I had a good experience all the way throughout. Like my basic teacher was Guy Stevenson. I don't know if you know him.
No.
Hilarious. He was like a writer for Mad TV. Very goofy. He would just tell us like Bobby Lee stories all day. Goofy guy, Army vet, had a heart attack. So he was just like happy to be there,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Very fun. My intermediate teacher, one of my good friends to this day. I
Wow.
dog sit for him all the time. Two beautiful pugs, Ian Gary. He was in Top Gun Maverick. Talking to the camera. He's not over there. Ian, come on out. Two little pugs come out. Surprise chase. Then my advance, everything was good. You really got sucker punched.
Yeah. Can I ask how old you were?
I got cut from there at 28.
Okay. I really think if I was older, I would have enjoyed it more. I don't
Maybe.
know if because even like after class, everyone would go get a drink. I wasn't old enough to get a drink. Like,
Hey, we're going to the dark room. You want to
yeah,
go?
like I think it's I think if I was in my later 20s, I might have had a different experience.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But it seems like you were really targeted for that, and that sucks.
I was very targeted. I think they had it out for me. They're like, oh, she wants to make it. Look at her starting so young. I
Yeah,
don't
what
know.
a concept. I'm going to school to try and accomplish something.
And I would do it in my summers. Like I was majoring in theater, and then I would each summer of college I went back to Groundlings. But like I don't know why I did it if I was so miserable. But I finally was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore.
Good for you. Good for you. That is a story in itself. Oh, by the way, we're almost a half an hour into this. My guest, Chase O'Donnell. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I didn't even know when we actually started.
No, well, I usually just start it and then like all at one point just be like, oh, my guest today, Chase O'Donnell or whoever, and then we'll get into your actual story. But we were just waxing poetic so
well,
fucking
we just
hard.
we had some venting to do, didn't
Yeah.
we?
Yeah.
So you can cut that all down.
I might not.
Okay.
Or sometimes I'll do like an intro at the top and be like, hey, so this episode kind of just starts out with us talking way too long, and I didn't get to the intro, but my guest today, Chase O'Donnell. But, okay. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Dude, I'm a fucking adult. I can do whatever I want
You
with
can
my
quit
show.
Groundlings. You can cut it down.
You know what you can't do, though? You can't go back to Groundlings once you've left them.
You can't?
You probably could.
I think I can.
You
been
can. I
so
can't.
many years.
I can't. Once you get cut, you can't.
Oh,
It's one and
it's
done.
because I left.
Because you left. Unless I don't bleep out certain names, and then they'll be like, "You can't come back."
Because, well, also, I don't know that it's. I know like there was a time where Groundlings was it. That's how you get to SNL, but like it's not like that anymore.
No.
And maybe they're gonna need students again. Like I don't
They
know.
probably are.
They
They probably
probably
need to get rid of a lot of the people that they have in their main company and get some fresh fucking blood in there.
Yeah.
My buddy who just got cut is the funniest person I've ever met in my entire life.
Wow.
The funniest person I know. Big, fat, redheaded Jew. Amazingly funny. And they cut him and kept...
It's very political there.
It's insanely political.
It's extremely political, and I don't. It's also political anywhere. Like I know it's political at UCB. It's political any little group, but yeah, I don't like politics.
It sucks. Nepotism sucks.
Are we just being like we're not in the company, so we don't like it? Maybe, but
Yeah, we didn't get invited to the party, so we're sitting here in a makeshift basement just talking shit. But it's one of those things too where it's like, did you want to be on SNL? Was that any sort of a goal for you?
When I was a sophomore in college, I made a like I would do so much vision boarding, and
You're deep.
yeah,
You're romantic.
oh yeah, the vision board I had was being the host of SNL.
But not a featured player.
No,
You
the dream was to be the host. Just 1 week would come.
I hope
and
you
host.
get it. That can still very well happen.
I don't know. But
Don't say that.
Thank you. I need to be more like, yeah, it could happen. I've also become very jaded. As we've seen, I started very young and I had such big goals that I thought I would achieve like, in a few years I'll be getting an Emmy. And I realized so quickly how hard this business is. And like now I don't really set goals because I've learned like if you set them, then you're going to get like disappointed when it doesn't happen. And I've had so much disappointment that now I'm just like, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
So, maybe. Whatever.
That's also the nice thing about doing stand-up is you end up bombing so many times that you're like, hey, man, it can't get much worse.
I bomb but now when I bomb, I'm just numb. Because I used to cry when I bombed, and now if I bomb, I don't have any feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So, it
do
really...
you write out your bombs, or do you acknowledge it mid-set?
What do you mean write out? Oh,
write
it
out.
out.
Not write out.
I write it out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You won't be like, this is going bad.
Well, I just did a show in Ireland, and, it's a different country, and I have to know that their humor is going to be different than America's humor. And there were comics that went on before me that like their jokes were going right over my head and the audience was howling. And I was like, what? What's so funny about that? And when I went on stage, crickets. And I was literally on stage just like, jeez. And I was doing my best stuff. They told me to do my best jokes.
What was this for?
I just booked a show in Ireland.
Okay.
It was just for me
Killer.
to do a show in Ireland.
Okay.
I was there.
Cool.
So, yeah. They're like, Ireland crowds are tough, so do your best stuff. So I was like, great, I'll do my best stuff. And it was crickets. And I was just on stage just like, all right, Chase, just say the jokes and get off stage. Just get this over with. Just get this over with. And so, no, I did not acknowledge it. I was just like, get this over
How much
with.
time did you do?
10 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, in and out, get me out. I got paid. And then one girl that I knew that was there with me, and I was there with a group for a retreat, and the retreat came to the show.
Mhm.
And they didn't know me, really. They just had met me that week. And one girl had never seen comedy, had never been to a comedy show.
Ooh.
And she was like, do you still get paid even though you didn't do well? And I was like...
Why was on your retreat?
I was like, yeah, I do. And I know I didn't do well. We don't need to like rub
You told her
in.
that?
Yes, I
Good.
I told everyone that had come see me. I was like, we don't need to pretend like that was good. Like everyone was being like, good job.
Yeah.
I was like, that was painful and horrible and the worst experience I've ever had. But again, because I'm so numb to bombing now. It's like I didn't even have emotions. I was just like, that was bad, and that's just
Is
that
that
was
the worst
scary.
you've ever had?
No.
No?
But I think it wasn't. I think if I had that experience early on, it would have, because that would have been traumatic and I would have cried. Now when I bomb, like I said, it doesn't affect me.
Just plow through it.
I'm not like crying and it doesn't ruin my life. Whereas if I would have had that bomb 5 years ago, it might have been the worst bomb. But I've had a lot of bombs like that where it's just like huge crowd. I did a show in Atlanta and I went up and I gave myself a challenge to do. I was on a road trip with my sister and I was like, I'm going to get up in every city. So in Atlanta, I like found this show happening and I was like, hey, I'm a comic from LA. Can I get up? And they kept running out of time for me. And after the headliner, they were like, do you want to do a spot? It was after the show was over. The host came back
Like
up.
after check drop?
After the headliner had finished. And then the host came up and was like, hey, you guys, there's this girl here that wants to get up and do some time. Are you guys okay with that? And like, it was like the small like class. And
Oh my God.
I should have said, let's forget it. But I had this challenge in my head that I had to get up. And I went on stage and I think I was up there for 4 minutes. I got in and out. Like I just was like, get me off this stage. People were singing happy birthday in the back. People were talking. There was no one listening. No one was looking at the stage. And I was just talking to a room of like 200 people.
Like smattering chairs.
That could care less that there was someone on stage.
Yeah.
And I would say that was my biggest bump.
Really?
It was so humiliating.
Isn't it funny how we challenge ourselves as comics to be like, I'm gonna do it. You're like, something terrible can happen. You're like, but I'm a comic. I'm gonna go do my time. I did a spot in Ventura. This would have been 2016. An hour after my dog was run over and died in my arms.
Oh, stop it.
I swear to God.
Stop
And I was like, but it kind of is a little bit poetic, but I was like, I'm gonna do the spot. I'm a comic. I can do this. I fucking cried on stage. But part of me was like, I went to Ventura to do the show. That's why we were out there, and I brought my dog. We were gonna go camping. And so we're at the camping spot, and he gets run over in the fucking campground. Still to this day, the worst experience of my life. I had to give him CPR. Blood came through from his lungs into my mouth.
No.
Worst experience. He was my best friend.
No, I'm
My
gonna
baby.
cry.
I'm sorry. But in my head, I was like, and I told the audience this. I was like, I came here to do a show. There's 3 things I love in my life: comedy, my family, and my dog. I lost one tonight. I'm not going to give up another and let him die in vain.
Oh my God.
But I just fucking cried. But the funny part was
What
there
was
was
the
this.
audience doing?
They were like, "What is going on?" Partially,
This was like your Tig Notaro. She comes on stage and she's just been diagnosed with cancer.
but she handled it a lot better than I did. I started crying.
Right? She didn't cry.
Yeah, but what was funny was like it was a really weird show to begin with. The guys who were running it, one of them went up in like a what do you call a gimp suit?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
No.
It's like bondage sex.
Yeah.
Like he had like a ball gag in his mouth and like straps and like zippers on his eyes and shit. And they were doing a bit where like one of the other hosts like brought him on a leash. And
So you were like, that's a dog?
Well, no, I go up there and I was like, and I had told them like straight up, you guys, here's the deal. I'm going to be a little bit off. You can see I've been crying. My dog just died.
Oh my God.
An hour, maybe 2 hours ago.
It
And
makes the audience uncomfortable a little bit.
but I was like, but if you watch the intro to the show, this won't be the most tragic thing you've seen tonight.
And they loved
I
it.
got a big laugh out of that.
Okay.
But I was like, half my set was like,
Oh my God.
and I like told jokes about my dog that I had in my act at the time before while he was still alive.
Clearly, because he was alive that day.
And then, I was like, all right, that's my time. I love you, Patchy.
Oh,
Bye.
I bet people thought you were joking.
They might have, but then other people were like, dude, that's the bravest thing I've ever seen. And so that narcissistic like comic in you that needs to be like, you did it. You did it. You're a real comic, kid. Your fucking Papillon Chihuahua just died in your arms, but you went up and you soldiered through it. I don't know why, like, the comic angel on your shoulder is from New York, but...
I mean, not the same, but I have a dog story.
Is that the story that you're going to tell today?
I was going to tell a story about the sweet life of Zach and Cody, but I think I can tell this dog story.
Whichever one you want.
This one's more in line with comedy.
Which one? The dog or the...
The dog.
Okay. Whatever one you want to tell. Or we could do both.
Can I give you the two options right now and you can cut it out and you tell me what I should do? Or you want me to just go for it? Why don't I tell the dog story? And then if you say that was too short and not good, I'll tell the sweet life story.
Okay. Let's hear the dog story.
I'll just tell you a dog story.
Okay. I should have told you off camera. I will interrupt you a lot.
Yeah. You told me in a message.
Oh, okay, cool. So
Yeah.
you got the gist. Take it away.
Now I'm second guessing if the dog story should be my story.
The dog story is going to be great.
Okay.
Is it sad?
No.
Okay.
I was on tour with comedy.
Okay.
And I was opening for Christina P, who I opened for, and
How long ago was this?
2021.
Okay. So pandemic times.
2 years ago. Yeah, pandemic times. And
How long have you been with Christina?
the first show I did with her was 2019.
Okay.
But
So this was 2 years in.
Yeah, but 2020 was
Didn't exist.
nothing happened. Yeah. So, okay. Her friend came to the show and he brought his dog with him. And he was out in the audience watching Christina and the dog was in the green room. So when I got off stage, I went into the green room to be with the dog.
What kind of dog was it?
A dachshund,
A wiener dog.
a wiener dog.
Okay.
And he had told me that the dog's a little feisty. And I out loud said, "Oh, I'm a dog whisperer. Dogs love me." I said it out loud. And so anyways, that's just the press. I was like, I'm good with dogs. Okay, don't worry. And anyways, I'm in the green room and the dog is like crying.
Like whimpering at the door?
Just like whimpering at me, just like it was sad that like his dad was not there. And I bent down and I was like, "Oh, it's okay. You're okay." And my face is right there and he jumps up and he bites my face. He bites inside my mouth to my
Oh my
mouth,
God.
and if the camera here can see me, he goes and wouldn't let go, and I had a wiener dog on my face back and forth attacking me for like I couldn't get him off, and he was
Oh my God.
and so he gets off of me. And I was like, whoa. Like, I think I blacked out. Like, I don't know what happened. And I look in the mirror and my face is bleeding. I have a punctured mouth. So blood is just gushing out of me. Blood all over my nose. Just, I'm bleeding on my face.
Holy shit.
And I was like, whoa. Like, it was just shock. And I'm shaking. And I go out to the, like, lobby area. And the girl that was just on stage, the waiters are like, are you okay?
Wait, so you had come off stage, gone into the green room.
And then like 10 minutes later, I leave the green room and my face is bloody.
I wonder, and so it was the
cut.
waitress that saw you.
The waitress sees me.
Holy fuck. I wonder
and
if
they
they
didn't know
thought
what to do.
I wonder if they thought that you got off stage and like immediately went to the green room and just like, this is comedy,
Yeah.
baby.
Nobody said anything. Like I walk out and they're like, and I was like, and I was shaky and I was like, I just got attacked by a dog. And one of the waiters apparently used to be an EMT. And so they grab him and he comes and like checks me out. And
Oh, for a second I thought you meant they grabbed the dog.
no, they grabbed the EMT to
Okay.
help me. The owner of the club went out, or I guess she brought me like vodka to like swish in my mouth, and I'm in pain. Like it is.
I can only imagine
so painful.
Which one hurt worse, the nose or the inside the mouth?
Well, my lip at this point was fully swollen. Like it was just like completely. I was like, you couldn't.
Oh my God.
And then my nose, it was all punctured, and like the nose was like, there were just like these massive like cuts under
Holes.
it. It just like really, really hurt. I don't know what hurt more. It was
Holy
all
shit.
like,
just one big.
yeah.
What a dumb
And,
question. Which one hurt more?
I don't remember. So, anyways, I swished around vodka, and I guess that helped. And I had another show to do, and
No. Was it like an 8 and a 10?
yeah. So I'm like, it took a while for like everything. Christina called Dr. Drew, who's like a doctor.
Hold on.
And
let me call my doctor.
And I was
It's
on the
Dr.
phone
Drew,
with
by the way.
Dr. Drew, which was very surreal to me. And he was like, he called in antibiotics for me, and he was like on it. And I'm like, okay, this is
That's
so
amazing.
crazy. And then I went on stage, and my face was like, I had cleaned up my face, but like my lip was really swollen, and I had like, it was like cut marks. Like I had cuts all over.
Yeah.
So you could tell
Like
I
puncture wounds.
yeah, and I put makeup on, but like, you could tell that I had a really messed up face. And I went on stage. I didn't acknowledge it, and this is what I mean by like, I can't think that quickly. I need a day to like write. The next day, I had a lot of dog jokes, a lot of cocaine jokes. I was like, me and the dog are cool. I gave him chocolate. Like I had a whole thing
that's funny.
prepared the next day.
I would have been like on stage, I got bit in the face.
I said it. I did say that. I was like, sorry guys, like I did just get attacked by a dog, but there wasn't a joke behind it. And everyone was like, what? Like nobody, I just said it, but like you can't just kind of like how you said my dog just died. They kind of
People are like, oh, what kind of weird alt comedy are we about to get into?
they were like, it didn't really land there. But I gotta say it was the best. Usually I do 30. They only made me do 15, which was a breeze. And it was the best 15 minutes I've ever done. I was like, because usually I'm very nervous, and the stakes are high, and I was like, get me off this stage, and I don't care, and like whatever. And tell you, it was a great set because I could care less.
That's good.
Which is good. I should get bit by a dog before every show.
You know, everybody's got their weird pre-show routines. Chase gets bit by a dachshund in the face before it's in her rider.
Yeah, just give me a dog attack. Anyways, that's the story. Then I came back, and then I had 2 shows the next night, and that's when I had my dog jokes prepared, and it was fine. I looked like a mess, and I was like, whatever. I had my jokes, but then. So that was in August, and then New Year's of 2022, I was invited to the club to do their New Year's show.
Which club was this?
Omaha Funny Bone.
Okay. And that's where the bite took place?
Yeah, and I showed up to the club, I guess, 6 months later, and everyone remembered who I was, and everyone was
How
like,
could they forget?
you're the girl that got bit by the dog. They're like, the girl that got bit by the dog is back. She's back. And I was like, they all knew me. It was.
I'm picturing you walking through the hallways to like a tunnel of slow claps.
They had clearly never had that experience before, and it was a big deal. I was back. They all remembered.
It's probably to this day the only dog bite that's happened at the club. Definitely the only dog bite that happened to a performer. Definitely the only performer to go back on stage after being bitten by the dog.
I have pictures.
Oh, definitely. Let me see.
It'll take just a second for me to pull it up.
Well, I'm curious, what happened with the dog afterwards? I'm assuming you guys had him put down?
No, his owner felt so bad, and he'll still text me to this day jokes about his dog, and his dog would love to see me, and so he has a good sense of humor about it.
Do you have any PTSD about dogs now?
No,
that's good.
No, I still think I'm a dog whisperer.
Good. That's good. No, but like, did you have any sort of an infection or anything? Because not to bring.
Okay, this was right after.
A lot better than I expected.
Okay, and then This was like I'm talking to the camera when everything's been cleaned up 2 days later, where like you can't really tell, but
Yeah.
just like,
That's way better than I expected.
oh, good.
And that's not, you have that saved on your Instagram?
It's part of my like stand-up
Yeah. What do you call those? Highlights?
highlights. It's in there.
It's in Chase's
You can take
highlights.
a peek in my highlights. I talk about it.
That's crazy. I got bit, not to bring up my dead dog again, but when I pulled him out from underneath the tire,
Oh, stop it.
he
Don't do this to me.
this was the worst part. I mean, other than him dying, I think he thought that I did something to him because I, violently pulled him from underneath the tire and he started just freaking out and spazzing and he bit my finger and I got a full-on body infection. Not only was my dog dead, but my whole body was septic after
I don't
that.
like that story.
I'm sorry.
My mom watched our dog get eaten by a coyote.
Watched it?
We were in she and Tutu were in the backyard, and a coyote came, picked up Tutu. My mom runs after, can't get her, snaps she's screaming for my mom. Like it's a very traumatic. But my mom watched it. I didn't. So I mean, having to watch it is really
It
sad.
it sucks. I was pounding on this dude's car. Pounding on the window. And the poor guy, I don't want to talk too much about it, but the poor guy felt so bad. I could tell. He was a foreigner. He didn't speak
Good.
English.
Well, good.
Yeah.
He should.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so that was my dog story, but you see, it's quick. That was a quick one.
That was a quick one. You want?
I have a Sweet Life of Zach and Cody story.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Does anybody get maimed or run over?
No,
Or
it's a very
attacked by
happy
a-
ending.
Okay.
Well, is it? I don't know. But there's sorry, my sister's calling. It's a fun, lighthearted story.
What a shift.
Okay. Do we have time for it?
We have all the time. I have as much time as you have. I don't have to be anywhere for 3 hours.
Okay. And
It's not going to take that long.
no, it won't take that long nearly. Okay. It's fun. The listeners, I think you'll enjoy this. I hope. Because everyone loves a good Sweet Life of Zach and Cody story.
I never watched that show.
Okay. Well, is this for our waters?
Yeah. I should be respecting my own table more, but
Well, you're probably a millennial.
yes.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
Oh, yeah. I'm 32. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, yes, that's correct. You didn't watch Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I should not have watched Sweet Life of Zach.
I think
and
I
Cody.
just edged out where Disney Channel shows became
You watched Lizzie McGuire, Even Stevens.
correct.
That's millennials' generation.
Yep.
I kept watching. I
Okay.
kept going.
You never graduated.
It was not cool for me to be watching Sweet Life of Zach and Cody at all. Like, I had to kind of keep it a secret
Uh-huh.
at high school. But did I have Dylan and Cole, Zach and Cody on my binder? Yes. And then in class, I would have to cover up the binder so people didn't see that I was obsessed with
Why
Zach.
would you put it on your binder if you were afraid of it?
I tell you, I don't know what
You
the
could have put
thinking
a
was.
cool show for teenagers to watch. What was a cool
OC.
show? The
The
OC.
OC
I don't know
was
why, but
cool.
my first thought was CSI Miami.
No. The cool kids were watching the OC.
Okay, that makes sense.
The cool kids were watching Paris and Nicole.
Yep.
The cool kids were, these were the shows that we were
What was
supposed
that
to be
show?
watching. The Simple,
Simple Life.
Not the Sweet
No,
Life.
I was gonna say the
Simple
Sweet Life.
Yeah, so anyways, it was like a secret at school that I was obsessed with the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, but
Were you the sweet girl the way that certain girls were the horse girl?
the SUITE girl?
Yeah.
No,
Did people know you just for watching this show?
no.
Oh, okay.
Not at my high school. At my dance studio, yes, but all my friends were obsessed with it at my dance studio.
Okay. Did your dance studio kids not go to your high school?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I
got a good read on who you were in
hated
school.
my high school. And I had very few friends. I was I guess I was the dance girl. I was in
Gotcha.
I would do the pep rallies, and I was in,
Color guard or something?
it was called dance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We had color guard at my school. I don't remember if we had a
But
dance
with
team.
flags?
Yeah.
We didn't do that. No.
Okay.
I just was I got to leave school early because I danced so much. Dance was my life.
Cool.
So my friends were at my dance studio, not my high school. and I was very different. Also, I grew up in the Valley, which is like where the Kardashians are from. And those are like, I always compare it like those aren't my people. And that's just like kind of I was going to high school with.
Kardashian types?
Yeah.
What high school did you go to?
Agora High.
Is that ritzy?
Well, it's like Agora and Calabasas are right next to each other.
Okay.
And Calabasas is where.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you know.
Say it.
I don't know ritzy, but like I didn't like it.
Snooty.
Yeah. Like
Gotcha.
not even that, but the kids were like into partying and I wasn't. The kids were like drugs and drinking, and I was watching the Disney Channel. So I was just very different than these kids.
Did you ever go to a party?
I went to a couple parties and I I would carry around a red cup with water in it, but I'd pretend it was beer.
No way.
And people would be like, "You drink, Chase?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." Like it was like I was in the closet of like not
You were
wanting
a
people to
closeted
know I was a
dork.
Disney kid. Yeah, but I just
I
didn't.
remember the first party I ever went to, we got there and I was like, guys, it looks too full. It's too full. I don't think we're going to even fit in there. We should go. Let's just go back to Garrett's house. Come on.
Yeah, it wasn't my scene. But one kid did ask me, this is before I went to like the parties. He was like, "Chase, do you party?" And I remember being offended and I was like, "Yes," but I thought he was talking about birthday parties. And I didn't know there were other types of parties that kids went to besides birthday parties.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "Oh, whoa, cool." And I was like, "Yeah, of course I party." But at my friends' birthday parties, we were like making up dances.
Yeah.
And like, it was just a
What
very
a party animal. I remember in 7th grade, somebody asked me that. They're like, "Channing, do you drink?" And I was like, "Yeah." Because at one time I took a sip of my mom's. Do you remember green apple pucker?
No.
It was like a liqueur. Just like you would mix it in with other alcohols. It was like schnapps, basically, but like less alcohol.
Okay.
And I remember one time I took a sip of it when my parents had gone
You
to sleep.
drank.
And I was like, "Yeah, I drink."
In 7th grade, that's
7th grade,
that's
yeah.
ballsy.
Yeah.
Wow. The first time I took a sip of alcohol was New Year's my junior year, and I took a sip of beer.
Junior year?
And then senior year, I started drinking because my sister had gone to college and she came back for the summer and she was like, "Chase, you have to drink or it's too weird that you don't. Like, you have to drink." And so
That is the most honest, peer
she
pressure,
was like,
though.
the weird kids don't drink. So like, you have to drink. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay." And I started drinking my senior year.
When's the first time you got drunk?
The first party of senior year.
Really?
Well, this is a whole other story in itself, but my sister taught me how to drink. I'm doing air quotes over the summer when she was like, "You have to drink." And she was like, "You can have 5 shots, no more than 5 shots," which is a lot.
That's a lot for somebody who doesn't drink.
And she was like giving me drinking games rules. And so I go to the first party of senior year and I was like, "Oh, I drink now." And by the way, by senior year, I transferred and I was at a performing arts high school in Orange County. And I was like, those were my people. So I
Nice.
I wasn't at Agora High at this point. Anyways, I was like, I drink now. And I was like, "Give me 5 shots." And I didn't know that you spread them out or whatever. And I took 5 tequila shots right in a row.
Oh my God.
And because it was so fast, it was under a minute. I was like, "I don't understand. I don't get it." And I had them give me 5 more. Which, by the way, the kids should have been like, "Let's give you a minute."
No, they probably thought you were the fucking
They
coolest.
were cheering me on. They're like, "Chase, look at Chase."
And you had just come from Agora Hills. They probably thought you ruled so hard.
They're like, "Oh my God, she's drinking." And so I took 10 shots in
Holy
under
fuck.
5 minutes.
What was it, Patron?
It was tequila.
Okay.
I don't think it was Patron. It was in a bigger bottle. That'd have been too fancy. But I blacked out immediately.
Sure.
And I got called puke face for a long time after that. I was throwing up everywhere. I threw up in people's purses. Not good. I was just throwing up on the floor. I was throwing up constantly the whole night. And then when I got to school on Monday, which I didn't know anything had happened. I woke up the next day like, oh, interesting. I have throw up on me, but I don't get it. Like I truly blacked out. And when I went to school on Monday, the class applauded for me as I walked in the door. And I was like,
Wow.
something happened. And slowly I figured out.
Did you do anything crazy?
I just threw up.
Just blackout,
I was
sloppy
just
drunk?
throwing up nonstop for hours. Yeah,
At the party?
at the party.
First time I ever got drunk, I blacked out in my buddy's treehouse in 9th grade. 9th or 10th grade in a treehouse, and we were taking shots of vodka that I stole from my parents' cabinet in Dixie cups, and I had brought it over in a jar.
Fun. How old are you?
I was 14 or 15,
Oh, see.
and it was like, well, this is
Normal
what
age.
kind of, yeah, but it was earlier than when you first got into drinking, but the same reason. It was like, well, we have to do this because all the other kids are doing it. Like, I mean, we were in a treehouse that we had brought our Nintendo 64 and sleeping bags into. I woke up I puked all over everybody's sleeping bag, and the only thing I remember is crying and telling the two other guys in there that we shouldn't be doing this because Jesus wouldn't want us to. And I wasn't even religious.
Wait, were these your like best friends, or were they like gonna make fun of you?
No, these kids were younger than me. And so I was kind of like leading the pack. Like, look, you guys are going to be in high school in the next couple of years. You got to do this.
No.
And because I was trying to be like, this is what like happens when you get older, like, you know, because kids in my grade were doing it. I was trying to be.
So you were trying to be the cool guy.
Yeah.
Did they get as drunk as you?
No. One kid, I think he took like a half a shot, and I think that was all he drank. And he was like, ugh, it tastes like glue. But he didn't. He was trying to fake it.
Glue?
It was vodka.
Yeah, that tastes like Windex.
You think so? I've always thought it tastes like glue.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think so.
I hate
Well,
vodka.
I've never tried glue.
But I remember he was
Nor
like,
have I tried Windex.
he was like, he didn't know how drunk actually worked. And he was just
Faking
using
it.
like hot button phrases.
Yeah.
So he would be like, oh my God, you guys, I think I just blacked out. He didn't know that like blacking out meant that you were like down for the count. Like you were out. He would be like, oh guys, he would take a shot and be like, oh my God, I just blacked out.
That's so cute.
Yeah. Cameron
Oh,
Tribby. I think he's a
that's
bouncer in
adorable.
Vegas now.
Oh, so fitting.
Yeah.
That's really funny. See, at least the problem with me drinking for the first time like that, I was with the entire senior class. It was like the first party of senior year, and everyone was there. And I would have loved it to be in a tree house with a few select friends.
Yeah, but look at Chase. She has to be the center of attention.
Yep, just like my teacher would say. So that was humiliating, and I've always been like, my kids, when I have them, they're gonna be drinking from age 12, and
Really?
I'm gonna give them wine. I'm gonna show them how drinking works, so they're never in that experience.
You're going to be that mom?
I'm gonna be that mom. Drink at the house. I don't want anyone to ever go through what I went through. And I think it's because we put like drinking's bad.
Yeah.
No, you can't. And so, and I was such a goody two shoes that I was like, I would never touch it. And I just need. It's not bad, and you should.
Yeah. I
like,
think the more
learn-
you stigmatize it, the more of a problem it will be for somebody the longer, when they get
Yeah.
older.
Yeah. So I just want to educate. I think kids should be drinking with parents and young.
Good.
Get them early.
Let's get back to,
Sweet life.
you're,
Okay, so at this point, I'm very, very, very innocent. I haven't drank or done anything.
this is pre 10
Yeah.
shot Chase.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. This is Chase 9th and 10th grade.
Puke face Chase.
Yeah. Pre that.
Okay.
I was so obsessed with the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody that it was an obsession that turned stalkerish. I knew where they lived. They lived on one of my friend's streets, and we would walk her dog and like walk by their house, and I would stand outside their house, and I
Holy shit.
I knew everything about them because like in magazines, like it'd be like, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? They liked cake batter from Cold Stone. Their favorite color was orange and blue. Like I knew to this day, I knew everything about the boys. And like I said, their pictures were all over
Where did you first see them? In the show or in Big Daddy?
The show. And then I went back and watched them on Friends and
Yeah.
Big Daddy. And so this was like a true obsession. Like I was, my
like it.
brain was just like 100% always on these boys. And it came to a point where I was talking to a friend and I was like, when I meet them, X, Y, and Z, da-da-da. And she was like, when you meet them? And I was like, oh yeah, when I meet them. I was that confident that I was going to be meeting them.
That's a delusion.
Yeah. Well, and that's what they say, like, manifestation and all that. Had I been putting that effort towards something else, like if I believed so clearly, like when I'm on SNL, like that would be great. But I was like, when I meet Zach and Cody,
We all have our goals.
I met them 2 days later.
No fucking way.
That's how, like, synchronous, like with the universe, I was certain, I believed it. And
So it was 2 days after you told your friend when I meet them.
And a friend of mine had posted on MySpace saying, Chase, I just met Cole Sprouse at the mall. There's a couple malls in Agora, but I just knew it was the Thousand Oaks Mall. And I said, Mom, drive me to the TO Mall right now. And she drove me to the mall. And I'm like, he's here. Like, I know
Which one?
Cole Sprouse.
Okay.
Cody. And I see him, follow him for a while.
Was he glowing?
I didn't even see the front of his face. I just saw the back of his head. I was like, that's my boy. And I started following him. I was following him for a good while.
Was there like paparazzi or an entourage or anything?
No, they were just at the mall.
Both of them.
Oh no, sorry, Cole and his manager.
Cool.
And finally, my mom was like, "All right, let me go talk to him," because I
Oh
was
my
too
God,
nervous.
Mom.
And anyways, she goes up and asks if I can get a picture. He says no, he's not comfortable with that, but he'll give me an autograph. And I said, "Where's Dylan?" He said, "Oh, he's not here right now." I was like, "Yeah, no kidding." I wanted to know where. But anyways, he wouldn't give me the
I need to
info.
know where he is so I can go find him.
My mom asks the manager, "How do we get Chase to a taping of The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody?" He gives her like the info. Cut to 3 months later. It's my 15th birthday. I'm taking a group of my friends to the taping of The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. And yes, I said 15. I was 15.
Holy shit.
And we get to the taping, and the warm-up comedian person was like, "Everybody in preschool, stand up. Everybody in kindergarten, stand up." And here I am, a sophomore in high school.
Oh my
And I
God.
had to wait through each grade. And like,
Did they even get to you?
he finally, like, it had been teetering out. And finally he was like, "High school? Is anyone in high school?"
Was it just you and your friends?
I stood up. Yeah, one of my other friends was also in high school, but my friends at my dance studio were all in middle school still. Okay, so
Oh, man.
very embarrassing, but I was proud. I mean, looking
Yeah,
back, embarrassing, but I stood up. I was like, they're going to notice me and they're going to want to cast me as their love interest. So anyways, one of the greatest days of my life. Cut to, I transfer high schools. I now go to Orange County High School of the Arts. It's a performing arts high school. And one of my good friends that I met there is on the Disney Channel.
No way. Who was it?
Kara Crane.
What's she on?
She was in the movie Minutemen.
Not familiar.
You would not be familiar because this is post Sweet Life.
Yeah.
Sweet Life is now Sweet Life on Deck. Like, things have changed. And I promised
So you aged into the spin-offs?
No.
That's how long you were
I
watching?
did not
okay.
like Sweet Life on Deck.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that.
I did not like it, but I was still watching Disney Channel.
Okay.
Wizards of Waverly Place, Hannah Montana, the Jonas Brothers had a show, Demi Lovato had a show. I was in that group. And anyways, my friend was in a Disney Channel original movie. She started dating a Disney Channel guy. He came to prom with us. And nobody there knew how obsessed I had been with Zach and Cody. But
New
I
school
let
knew
her
you.
know a little bit, like, whoa, that's really cool. She was on the Sweet Life on Deck. She got some guest appearances on it.
Wow.
And she was like, I am like, what's it? Instant chat.
AIM?
With Dylan and Cole. And I would like kind of be like, that's really cool. Oh wow.
That's exciting.
So like she knew. She
Yeah.
knew that I really liked Dylan and Cole. Although like I wasn't nearly as obsessed, and the older I got, the less obsessed I was.
Sure.
They will always hold a special place in my heart, but it wasn't that obsession. Anyways, cut to, we've graduated. I'm going into my sophomore year of college, and Dylan and Cole Sprouse have just graduated high school.
Oh, shit.
And which also, the age gap isn't that bad.
2 years?
We're a year and a half apart.
Okay.
Which in high school, that was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But now, like, they're 30.
Especially when they've graduated.
They're 31 and I'm 32. Like, it's really, we're the same age.
Yeah.
Okay. They're graduating high school, throwing a going away party to NYU, and Kara gets invited and calls me
No
to
way.
be her +1.
Yes.
To Dylan and Cole, Zach and Cody's party. And it was a literal dream come true, the culmination of it all. And I was like, Chase, play it cool. Don't you dare mention you were at their taping. Like,
Don't you dare mention Thousand Oaks Mall.
don't you dare mention you met him at the mall. Like, you're cool. Like, you have a reason to be here.
Please tell me you mentioned all those things.
I didn't.
Ah.
I didn't, but I did end up in the jacuzzi
Ooh, baby.
with Zach around one arm,
No fucking way.
Cody around the other.
How many shots deep were you?
I was drinking wine,
Okay.
red wine, and I did spill it on their white couch. And what did I do? I flipped the cushion. So to this day, I don't know. They might not know that there's a. Anyways, I had some wine, but I was in college at this point. I was good at
In
handling
control.
my alcohol.
A classy, adult, mature, drinking red wine.
Classy, fun. I was living this dream in the jacuzzi. Dylan and Cole around either arm.
What a pimp. Did you actually have your arms up
I
like
had
that?
my arms around both of them.
Were you
like
touching them?
this.
Was it a joke that you were sitting like that? Or were you just... This is amazing.
Not a joke. My arms were around not around them, but like, just like how you relax. Like
Yeah.
this.
Was this a surreal moment for you? Like looking back, like that little girl in Agora Hills.
Yeah.
Now look at me now.
Dylan and Cole around each arm, and I'm acting like, oh yeah, because I knew where they went to middle school, and like I knew people. Like, they grew up in my area. It's like, oh yeah, AC Style, yeah, like I. Yeah,
What's
I know.
AC Style?
The middle school they went
Oh, okay.
to. Duh.
Sorry.
And I just I was saying things like, oh yeah, I know this mutual friend. Cool. I was playing it like I thought I was the coolest person that's ever lived. And I get out of the jacuzzi and I go to the bathroom to change out of my bathing suit and change. And I look at myself in the mirror. And I was like, something's not right. My eye, for whatever reason, it's never happened before this. It hasn't happened since. I had an allergic reaction to something, and the whole time I was in the jacuzzi with Dylan and Cole around each arm, I had the biggest swollen eye that you could ever imagine. Just one eye was the size of a potato.
What? Why?
I don't know.
Actually swollen out of your skull?
Swollen like this. My eye was like this. I had Panda Express before, and I thought, well, maybe I was allergic to that, but I've had that a lot since and a lot before, and it's never happened. I don't know what the allergic reaction was. My eye was swollen, and my hair was wet, so I put my 2 strands of wet hair over my eye, and I wish I had the sense of humor at this time to take a picture. I didn't. I was like, get me out of here as fast as I can.
You didn't even get to say bye to your sweet princess?
I did. I said bye like this. I didn't show my face.
And again, you powered through it and didn't acknowledge the eye?
Yeah.
Same as your sets?
Yeah. And I told Kara, I was like, I think my eye's swollen. And she was like, yeah, I think we all noticed that. And I was like, of course, this moment of me thinking I'm the coolest person in the world, I had a swollen eye, and everyone's probably like, who is this girl, this confident girl with her
Elephantitis.
eyes just so swollen?
Holy
And
fuck.
that's my, and I followed them. They did accept my friend request on Facebook. We were friends for a while, and I became too active in their profile, and they did block me.
Really?
I don't think block, they just
Like unfriended?
unfriended me. Yeah, so I'm no longer friends with them, but I was there for a minute.
Were you commenting on a lot of shit?
I was. And now you should see I comment on their Instagrams a lot just
Still?
for fun.
Yeah.
Just for fun, and I'll be like, ha ha. I remember that. Like, I'll just pretend like we're friends. It's an inside joke with me now.
Just you.
Anyways, just me. It's an inside joke, but that's my Dylan and Cole story.
That is it's really fucking funny. It's also so bittersweet. Like, you got to do this whole thing. It doesn't go well, but like I can't help but picture them, the two of them, the twins, like you got your arm around it and they're probably both just like,
Who is this girl
who's this fucking leper
that came
touching
to
me?
our party? Like, we don't know her.
That's so, were they drunk?
No one was drunk. This was a party full of like
Cool.
Nickelodeon and Disney kids. I don't know how I ended up in this world, but I was there, and they were all just like, just like clean cut kids.
Yeah.
And they were kind of weird. I got to be honest.
Well, they're actor kids.
They were weird. Cole or Dill, I think it was Cole. When I said hi, thanks for having me, he was like, hello, and thank you for being here too. Like, they were kind
Like
of.
he was hosting.
They were weird.
Sounds
They
like
were-
Steve from Blue's Clues.
They were kind of weird.
That's weird. Didn't one of them turn out all fucked up?
No, they're both doing great. Cole,
You don't have to defend them. It's
listen,
over.
Cole was on Not Your Daddy or the Daddy podcast smoking a cigarette, and he got a lot of hate for that.
Not Your Daddy? What's that?
What's the Daddy podcast?
Is it the Barstool one? Call Me Daddy?
Call Me Daddy.
Okay.
He was on Call Me Daddy smoking a cig, acting all cool, and like people were making fun of him for that. And then Dylan had nudes
That's
released.
what I was going to ask you. Have you seen the nudes? I've seen them.
I've seen him.
It was just the root, right?
Yeah. I didn't want to see him. Christina P. showed me on a podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was really good body. Mm-hmm.
I saw it. It was a good body.
Yeah.
Good root.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're my boys. Anytime there's anything with like them in the news, the amount of people that message me, like I am caught up on Dylan and Cole because people just know
Yeah.
those are my boys.
You're like the premier voice of Dylan and Cole. I have a buddy. I don't know if you know him, Dave Neal. You know Dave Neal?
I don't know.
He's a comic, and he's like the premier voice for The Bachelor.
Oh.
That's how he makes his living, is commenting on like doing social media shit, like recaps. He's the premier.
I'm sure I know him
You should.
because I'm a big Bachelor fan as well.
Are you?
Huge.
Oh, you might know his recap videos if you're like in the zeitgeist of watching like YouTube.
Yeah. I always watch Jared Freed's recaps.
Mm.
He's a comic too.
Is he?
Mhm.
It's very lucrative. You could be the Zach and Cody.
The Zach
Or what-
I think
what are
it's
the-
less
Dylan and Cole?
lucrative.
Hey,
to be there.
if there are bronies,
You're right.
you
You're right.
know,
Maybe I'm the Zach and Cody, like just this week in Zach and Cody history,
Yeah.
or like in Dylan and Cole's life.
are they still working?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're doing amazing, and they.
I love how much of a stan you still are.
I was writing when I lived in New York. I was writing a Sweet Life of Zach and Cody tribute show.
I thought you were gonna say spec.
No, a tribute. I was gonna do like a live tribute show, but the feedback I got from so many people was nobody knows what Sweet Life of Zach and Cody is. So it went under. But I could bring that back.
You should.
Yeah,
I like it. Well,
you like it?
yeah, I like it. You know what I like about? I like passion. I like anybody who's into anything
Oh yeah.
and like just being themselves. When I was younger, I would make fun of people relentlessly for anything that they liked. That's just like how I grew up. My sister made fun of me no matter what I liked. You got made fun of. My friends too. We just shit on each other 24/7. So now it's like, you like that? Fuck yes.
Agreed. Agreed. And it's normal in high school and younger. Like, this is why I had to keep it a secret for so long.
And to fucking
I had to hide my
Yeah.
collages of them because it's like normal. But I agree. I think it's really cool to be passionate about something.
Yeah.
I want to make it clear.
No matter how weird and creepy and invasive it might be.
I'm not. And now it's more of like a ha thing.
Yeah.
I'm not the boys are not on my wall. I'm not obsessed with them any longer, but they are in my heart forever and always.
I think you're going to have a piece of them in there forever.
Forever. Yeah.
You got a little stamp on there.
Yeah.
Right on. I love that it came full circle. Chase, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Beautiful, tragic.
Tragic.
Yeah, we touched on tragic and then not so tragic. I don't know why I'm going on. Chase, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you for coming in and sharing your heart with me.
Thanks for having
of course.
me. Bye.
I'm all ears.
I'm all ears.
Lend me your ear.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. The show's artwork done by the amazing Clay Morrell and the theme song by the one and only B Wood.